My guest this week is Adrian Ferreira, known as I am DetailedAF on social media. He's the West Coast distributor for Pheonix EOD, for AutoFiber, and for BioBombs. In this episode, we discuss his detailing journey, the product distribution game, and the detailing scene on YouTube and on social media. So I hope you enjoy this one. Okay, welcome everyone to the podcast. We've got Adrian Ferreira with us today from DetailedAF. I came across his work on the YouTube, on Instagram. Really nice guy. You'll get to know him a little better here. Adrian, what make you take the leap of faith to start a business coming from a car detailing enthusiast?
I ended up finding out that I was spending a lot of money on products that I liked. And it wasn't products that I liked, but products that excited me. Uh, marketing strategies obviously work well in the industry. And so I bought a lot, different brands, different flavors, new products. Um, that slowly gave me an opportunity to speak with more manufacturers. Obviously, the brand right above my head was the first one that said, "Hey, we need distribution on the West Coast." So Aaron reached out, and I said, "You know what? I'll do this." So that was actually the real initiation of why my business was started. I was doing it on the side, doing work, detailing on the side, but then he really fueled my energy to like, hey, I should do this as a business. And as a business, being a distributor, your margins are better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if I were to ceramic coat a car and pay for a coating, the average price of a coating is $100. As a dealer, it's different. And so I said, hey, I could make more profit. And so that slowly evolved. Um, from that evolution, more people offered me the same opportunity as Aaron did. AutoFiber gave me an opportunity to distribute towels. Again, I took that immediately. I said I also need towels when you wash a car, dry a car, clean a car, and so that was a huge success. Obviously, having AutoFiber distribution 10 minutes away from my house is probably the biggest win I've ever imagined. I didn't know they were so close to my home. So I place a custom order, I get it within 1 to 2 days. It's a huge win. And then the last one that I added on was BioBombs. BioBombs with Christian. Started a relationship with him over at MTE in Orlando about 2 years ago now. And yeah, hit it off. And again, he gave me an opportunity. So all these networking opportunities has really got me where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, just keep it going from there.
That's amazing. Did you start DetailedAF after your relationship with Aaron, or that was DetailedAF was already a thing there?
Yeah, Detail AF did not exist until Aaron asked me to distribute for him. And then because I think I'm sometimes funny, I wanted a business name that was kind of catchy, but still strategic, right? So as you see my first and last name, that makes Detailed AF. Um, but the funny part is, I think it was Carlos or somebody else on YouTube said detailed with the bad word. And so that was the common trend that people thought it was detailed with the bad word, detailed AF. I don't know if we'll get canceled
That
if I say the bad word, but
no, we don't. But that's what
yeah,
I
but
thought at first. Because
yeah.
I didn't see your name. I just thought detail
And
as
so
fuck,
it
right?
was yeah. And so I thought, you know what, that's gonna work perfect. It's detailed Adrian Ferreira, but detailed as fuck is really what I wanted to be the catchy component to the business. But yeah, it started because Aaron gave me an opportunity to do it as a business, and I didn't think of that at the time. So I said, all right, I'm all in. I thank you for supporting me, and so I'm gonna make it happen. So within 10, 15 days, I got a business license, shelving, ordered inventory. Like I got all that done within a short period of time, and slowly grew from there.
But you already knew him before? How did he know that you had the capacity to actually distribute products?
There was a prior distributor in this area where the relationship went a different direction, and so he needed someone to replace that position. Um, when that happened, I had bought the whole product line back then and posted. So if you go to my Instagram, the one of the first posts is prior to me distributing their products. And so that relationship kind of initiated there. He was aware of the video I made, and then the fact that I was West Coast. And then I said, you figure out that relationship with that person first, and when you figure that out, I said I'll be able to jump in when you're ready. But I don't want to be kind of in the middle of two people, right? So that was our plan, and luckily here we are, right?
But did he know that you had like the capacity to do that, that you had the time and the means to actually do that position?
That's a good question. I may need to bring him on to ask him that. I think he just
Just
trusted
took a
me.
guess.
Yeah. He asked me if I would, and I said yes, and I went full steam ahead. Yeah, product ordering, shelving. You can only imagine what it takes to ship products, but scales, stickers. It's just a tape. There's just a ton of stuff that you need, and so I went all in and set up shop and license and everything else, seller's permit, and just
Yeah,
yeah, it's,
work.
yeah, just it's what you need to do to make stuff happen. So you can't miss up when get handed an opportunity. So I took it.
By the way, I'll put up your website up top so you guys can check Adrian out, and you can look him up on Instagram and show him your support, my friends. And then,
Sounds good.
so is there a specific product within the Pheonix EOD? So I'm not super. I never tried their product. I've seen them run around, but is there a specific product in their lineup that got your attention the most, that you like very much?
Initially, it was Titan.
Yeah.
Um, Titan for me. So you guys will laugh, but I think you could correlate with me. I was a Chemical Guys fan, right? It's like the word Kleenex. Everybody knows Chemical Guys.
Yeah.
Um, that's where I started. I thought I was awesome with Chemical Guys. Like I thought, like my car is the best. But you then come to realize, not that their products are bad, but you come to realize that there's more cost effective, slightly better performance, or just better performance in general with other brands.
Hmm.
Um, and so I then transitioned to Beadmaker. From Beadmaker, I then transitioned to Titan. That was my evolution. I just found Titan having a more shine glow after you give it a period of time, and that's been my go-to on everything that has a coating. Um, and
So
so
you would say that you prefer it over Beatmaker?
I would. I can't lie. I know you and I talked before, but I do have like the clean maker here hidden, uh, and so um, I do have stuff around all the time. It just depends on my flavor, but yeah, for the most part, Titan will be and has been my go-to for since the relationship with Phoenix.
Drying aid,
Um,
right? That
yeah,
that would
it's
be
just
like a drying aid.
yeah, the fact, let me add this to it. So is it durable? Is the most durable? No, but the fact that I wash my car every week, I almost don't care about the durability, right? Um, the other thing too is my cars are coated. And even when they're not coated, washing it at least bi-weekly, every other week, you're fine, right? It's when you go longer, then yeah, maybe you want something a little bit crazy durability. But for the most part, it's been awesome, slick, shiny. Uh, it just works. From there, the products, my excitement has been with other products. I transitioned over to a rinseless type of person, right? So
Okay.
you could call me a rinseless whore. So um, I love rinseless. Uh, if I don't want to get Instagram likes, I do rinseless 90% of the time. But if I need an Instagram like, then I foam up like crazy, right? Um, it's just foam is trendy, but rinseless for me is probably the most efficient I've ever seen a car wash in my life.
Do
Um,
you do you do you use the pressure washer beforehand, or you just no?
No, my method is I have a fan tick. Thank you to Key for recommending, but I have a fan tick with rinseless and a bucket with rinseless. I pre-spray with the rinseless and then my bucket with the sponge and go to town dry and then slap tighten on top. And usually I'm done with my car in eight,
Yeah.
10 minutes.
But we have to mention that you are in California. Your car probably does not get too dirty, right?
Yeah, so in California, you may know we only have one season. It's summer all year long for the most part, right? 70 degrees is the common temperature, average temperature in San Diego. So that is a huge luxury. We don't have weathers that cause deterioration of stuff. Um, yeah, there's really nothing on the roads either, and so
So
it's
rinseless is perfect, right?
yeah, for me, rinseless is perfect, especially if you do it frequently, right? Frequently, for me, rinseless is the goat. If you wait a little bit longer and car gets a little bit nastier, then yeah, I'd probably foam up just to that added precaution if people have a concern.
But do you miss the? I always think about that when I think about the rinseless guys. Do you miss the water beads, like spraying with the pressure washer on the paint and seeing
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the water
Uh,
behavior?
all right, I'll confess. I'll confess. I sometimes, even though I could do rinseless, I foam just for the simple fact of watching beads, right? Like yeah, sometimes my car doesn't need foam, but I will still spray it down just to see the performance of the coating, right? Is it still healthy? It's almost, yeah, it's the fascination of watching beads. I don't know what the hell people are addicted to, but I am addicted to it also. But watching beads is just kind of fun, right? Even when it rains, you go out and you look at your car for no damn reason just to see beads on the car. It's kind of it's one of those
So
weird addictions that.
let's go back to your business, and we'll dive a little bit deeper in the products thing. Um, what was the biggest challenge when launching Detailing AF?
Ooh, the biggest challenge. Um, I think the biggest challenge, and I think I'm going to generalize this because it goes with anything, is the unknown,
Yeah.
right? How do you start a business? What the hell is a business? Um, am I comfortable enough to start a company? Um, do I feel that my intel in cars is sufficient enough to advertise, right? So there's all these elements that I think people have to go through, experience, and actually take action in order to be comfortable, right? Let alone, Aaron allowed me to be a certified instructor based on the skills that I was showing either on Instagram and other things and kind of going through some tests. Uh, Am I even capable to teach others? It's always something that you will question yourself, but depending on how much research you do and how much practice you do yourself, like you should have the confidence to take that extra step. So yeah, the challenge for me was the unknown, but now I don't think it's challenging whatsoever. It's a yeah, you just have to take action. And once you take action, you'll realize that it's not as difficult as one seems. I don't know if it's the fear of managing income, managing inventory, managing expenses, let alone that thing called taxes. I don't know if you ever heard of it. But it's yeah, there's a lot to
Uh,
manage. Marketing, right? Um, a lot of things to manage all at once, and so that was my initial fear. But I just felt that if I didn't take action, then I never would, right?
mhm.
So it was, yeah, I just had to make the move and find something and do something that I really enjoyed. And so this was, it just worked out for me.
Yeah. My product recommendation for this week is Clean by Pan Deorganizer Tire Dressing. A really nice tire sealant or tire dressing that is solvent based that actually lasts a long time on your tires. If you are facing some rain or some winter days, I like to use something more robust such as Clean by Pan Tire Dressing. Really nice shine. I really enjoy this product. So guys, go check it out on the houseofrags.com and .ca using the coupon code Dogma to save you some money. And let's get back into the video. As the West Coast distributor, what is your role other than shipping out product? You mentioned that you have to teach people.
Yeah. So the offerings currently that we do is one, the distribution piece, and two, training to be certified with Pheonix, obviously using their products. Um, I have a tentative date to do a course coming up at the end of March. I don't have the date specified yet, but we'll be posting it on Instagram soon. I hope to keep it somewhat more, sounds corny, but intimate, right? Max of 4 people. The only reason I state that is because the bigger the group gets, the harder it is to really focus on what people are doing and how they're doing it. And so um, we'll have that. So yeah, the training in addition to distribution are the 2 key elements that the business conducts. And then the service part, I tend to push that out to people that work with me, buy from me, and I tend to support the local detailers as much as I can. And so that's been the sweet spot for me. I do work myself and do quite a bit of ceramic coatings, but I tend to hand them off a lot
Hmm.
to people that need to make a living, and so that is, yeah, that's my sweet spot, I believe.
So I guess your role is also to expand the sales and push the products in your area as well.
Yeah, no matter what a distributor carries, the education component is probably the heaviest, right? Um, any distributor, their education component is to teach and educate what brands are available, what do they do, how are they effective, not effective. But your job is to educate. And so in San Diego, the name wasn't as known well and for Phoenix for prior. And
Hmm.
slowly, Aaron and team and everyone all together, even Thor now distributing Phoenix, it gets more widely known. But initially, it's an education curve that I think is the most challenging. Outside of that, there are products that work well, so it wasn't that difficult to push.
Do you have a specific pro-only ceramic coating?
No, so Chronos has one coating. It's well, technically two, but Chronos is the 5 to 7 year, and then Immortal is the 1 year. Chronos V2 came out some time ago or recently. V2 is extremely durable and very easy to use. And that's been my go-to, right? I may be biased AF, but it just works. And so it's my go-to. I do play with a lot of others. I have accessibility to. If you were in my house and go out the back door, I have multiple panels and I have stands, and so yeah, I am playing with stuff all the time. Um, I'll leave the panels outside and just let's see what happens. But yeah, Chronos hands down is my go-to.
But why is there a certification if the product is, because it's not what we're used to, meaning that when there's
Yeah,
a training, normally it's for a
yeah,
reserved product, right? Can
yeah.
you
And so
elaborate on that?
yeah, let me be very transparent on that. It's not really about you need certification to apply Chronos. It's more about the aspect of how to apply a proper coding and how do you assure that the person that's applying it has the general understanding to prep a vehicle so that it gets the most longevity of the product, right? And so to me, at that point, it's worth it. Um, uh, any other aspect, I guess you could get knowledge from anywhere and just attempt to do it, right? But it's almost more of a let's make sure that these people are familiar with the common process. But as you know, the common process is similar with any other coding. So
Hmm.
the coaching and the guidance can be found in various aspects. This is just a Phoenix spin on how to use these products, right? And so that's kind of what we teach, what I teach, and then I just give people different scenarios, right? Here's 2,000 sandpaper, 1,000, 1,500 sandpaper, 3,000. How do you finish it? What do you do? What's the pads you use? What's the combo pad you use? Polished compounds, and so that's the stuff that we try to teach, and then allow people to play with rotary, DA, just get a little bit more well-rounded, right? Than whatever you're stuck to. I have you can't really see. I could probably change my camera, but I have pads from everybody and their mother, and so it's always good to play, right? A lot of local friends have a lot of different polisher brands. So sometimes the last time we did a course, we had like 5, 6 different polishing brands at the shop here. And so play with all of them before
Okay.
you buy it. Tell me what you think. And so we just kind of keep it open, more of an education brainstorming session and knowledge
Okay.
base.
Yeah, so it's an
That's
opportunity for the people to learn more, learn the ins and out, and buy the
100%.
product and know how to use it right.
Yeah, unlike buying a vehicle, you can't test drive stuff often. And so being able to test drive polishers is, in my opinion, probably one of the coolest things to have. And so a couple friends will bring their stuff and we all get to play and get to talk smack about each other's polishers. I think it's a blast.
So they get good value by coming to that training. So are you
Yeah.
a I'm seeing in your background you have those shine mate polishers, right?
Yeah, these are Shine Mates,
Are
Buff
those
Shine, Buff. Go ahead.
your preferred are those your preferred polishers?
They are. I think they're the most cost effective machine out there that perform as well. A quick little upgrade to the grease and it does the job. I do need to transition over to battery powered. I just haven't done so. Um, I've had other brands, and not to talk negative about anything, but for a fraction of the cost to get the same type of performance and or better, I uh, I just went with what works. I didn't. I don't get stuck with marketing, if that makes sense, right? I don't follow
Mhm.
marketing hype. Um, I do. Maybe I follow marketing hype when I have 100 different brand products on my shelf, but I don't. I don't always tend to follow marketing hype. I like to really dive in and learn myself and try.
Mhm.
And so if the product is that many times greater, so let's hypothetically say a famous brand costs 2 times more. Does it perform 2 times better? Then I'll go buy it. If it doesn't provide 2 times better performance, then I usually will tend to stick with what I have on my wall, right? Same with this guy, right? It's a Griot's. Griot's another quality product. Are they the most premium? No, but for me, they just do the job, and I don't feel the reason to splurge on a more expensive product yet. And so, but yeah, we'll keep testing, we'll keep playing, and I don't know, maybe sometime soon you'll see a different brand on the wall, but with the battery.
Yeah. Well, shine mate is one of the best bang for buck type of
Yeah,
polisher. My friends over at Carzula, they're a big believer in those machine, and I've
that's
never
that,
I've
yeah, that's
never
where these
bought
came from.
one
So
myself. Oh
yeah,
yeah, okay.
shout out to Carzilla. I ordered these from Carzilla as well.
That's good.
And yeah, they're a great company and glad they shipped to me. So that was awesome.
Mhm. So, did Instagram and social media played a big role into your growth at Detailed AF, would you say?
It's my only method currently into my marketing. I'm probably handicapped that I don't have a YouTube because it's the way to do things for marketing, right? But yeah, Instagram is my only method, and it is the reason why my growth has been what it's been. I don't have a ton of followers, but it's enough that we keep close communication with each other, build lots of networks here locally and across the US. We attend events and we bump into a lot of people that I chat with on Instagram, and it's opened some doors, which in my opinion, I've extremely fortunate to just connect with a lot of people that have gotten a ton more popularity since I started chatting with them, and just knowing that I could contact them for advice, questions, or just because I want to talk smack to them. I think it's been a great tool. But yeah, Instagram marketing for me has helped, and I just know that I'm somewhat camera shy, so I don't do YouTube. But if I did that, I think it would help significantly, right? So, or it can help. I don't know if people will like me, but I think, yeah, I think it helps. You got to take advantage of any opportunity marketing that you have available at your bandwidth. I'm trying to live that work-life balance.
Yeah. And
That's
YouTube is a long process as well.
it is, yeah. I sometimes I don't document cars just because it takes me so much longer to record it post it.
Mhm.
Sometimes I just like, well, I want to make a buck, right? So
Yeah.
I get the car done, and I don't record anything, and then I'm regretting myself, like, oh, I should have just taken a picture. I should have just taken a quick video. But it is what it is. It's
But it's good. It's good to take a break here and there because I just did a wash on my car today, and it felt great to not film or not do anything else
yeah.
than just focusing on that detail, right? So, what's the most popular stuff at AutoFiber for your store?
So AutoFiber, probably some of the most popular off the top of my head. I'm gonna name three. The flat out, the wash mitt or wash pad. The flat out pad has been quite popular. Their drawing towels, dreadnoughts, are significantly popular. And then the recent hype with the Mid on the Stick Pro Plus have been pretty popular. Above and beyond, you guys are probably familiar with the Ninja Scrubs. Those are always
Oh yeah,
popular. But those three right now, for some reason, have a buzz. And then you have the reoccurring sales that are like Ninja Scrubs and the Mr. Everything towel. Um, outside of that, they're just yeah, they're pretty innovative, and so they keep coming out with kind of cool stuff.
yeah,
And some of it are very cost effective, and so I just yeah, it's fun to be a business owner that distributes for them because I like to order samples for myself all the time. So uh, I'll order a sample and open up a pack, and if people like it or people have interest, I'll keep one for myself and throw the rest of the pack in people's boxes, right? And so sometimes people will order something, and I'll just throw a random item in there just because I can. Um, and so yeah, yeah, that's probably the three top right now that I know: the pads, towels, and the Mid on the Stick Pro Plus, which is my new mop. It's what I use.
and the coding applicator is patented, right?
Yeah, so the coding applicator, the Saver applicator, is patented. It's used by other big name brand towel companies. That technology. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a copy or of I have one in here, but um, I usually do. But if you're familiar with it or not, the Saver applicator, the inside of the applicator has like a plastic bag melted to the back of it, so you could hear it kind of crunchy. But in essence, it keeps the applicator solution or the ceramic solution on the surface of your pad versus being sucked into the foam. So a small bottle will go a really long way with those applicators. And so yeah, that's one of many wins that Autofiber has just done so well.
Yeah, yeah. Is the Scrub Ninja patented as well?
That one I don't know, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't see
I
that
would
many copies.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, or if people rename them or relabel them, I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, the Scrum Ninja is the goat when it comes to that type of tool, right?
Oh yeah, the efficiency with this
Um,
tool is so good, and they
yeah,
last a while.
yeah. Almost all of these products last a good. When it comes to towels, they last such a good while that it's a really good investment, right? Just get yourself a really good quality towel and learn to maintain it. And once you learn to maintain it, then you will be golden. You will laugh, but initially I thought these towels kind of were not the greatest because like you clog them up using some detail spray or sealants, and you're like,
Mm.
this towel doesn't even absorb anything anymore. So yeah, but once you learn to wash them properly and use the towel cleaners, and the worst case scenario, you just dump them in a bucket with a solution and let them sit overnight, dry them up, and squeeze them, and then throw them in the washer after. Then yeah, you have a really fresh towel thereafter, and all your clogging issues are gone.
Yeah, at some point you gotta go, right? They're disposable item. Yeah, disposable. So
Yeah.
for me they last a while, but after washing it so many times, and maybe I do them in the dryer as well at the lowest heat, and at some point they don't feel as soft. So
Mm.
I guess you gotta renew those things here and there. So what is your washing process for the towels?
My washing process, I use different brand towel cleaners because it just depends on the mood I'm in. Obviously, I'd be biased to tell you that I only use the Autofiber. The Autofiber has a product I use that product. I've used the Thor brand for towel cleaners, and then I have the Rag Company one, and it just, I don't know, depends on my mood. I'll use them. They all have been extremely effective. If the towel is very contaminated, I don't throw it in my washer. I throw it in a bucket with solution. Um, um, but yeah, for the most part, I'll wash if something's highly contaminated for towels. I'll wash it in a bucket, leave it overnight, 2 nights. Sometimes I forget, and if it's not that contaminated, most of my towels are not because I change my wash method process. But if they're not, then I just throw them in the washer with the solution that's specified on the. Usually, it's an ounce for most of all of them, and go from there.
Is there something that makes AutoFiber different from other towels brands?
That's a good question. I don't know if it's a trick question, but it's a really good one.
No, but sometimes
uh,
I just feel like that when it comes to towels, that they feel like you see the same towel but with a different tag on it. It's
um, how
not to say
transparent can
it's
I
all
be?
the
Yeah,
same, but
yeah. So there's not many manufacturers. I'll leave it at that. Right? There's not many manufacturers. It comes to who is uh, using critical thinking to be creative to come up with something different. So AutoFiber with the Ninja Pro or the Ninja Scrub, like that's innovative, right? It's different. So he gets a cherry on top. The idea for the Saver applicator, same manufacturers, but because of his idea, you get a minor twist on it. Um, and then being fully transparent, Thor has the goat towel. Uh, I didn't know why Jamie called it the goat until I saw him at SEMA and really played with it. And I'm like, this is an amazing towel. Like me being around towels all the time to go and touch that towel, I'm like, but I nodded myself to you, like, right, it's you nailed it. This is an awesome towel. And so it's just how innovative can you be? How can you make things slightly different and use these large manufacturers to create something for you that may be slightly different and or better? And so yeah, I just think AutoFiber has been doing really well with many categories they manage. And so that's where I've leaned to, and I just kind of, I guess, stay loyal to them. But
is the, is that the goat towel similar to TRC, uh, FTW?
no, so the goat towel is Thor's drawing towel, if I'm correct off the top of my head. It's a big towel. It's just extremely plush, soft, and soaks up water like if it was free. And so yeah, he just nailed it. I was playing with it, testing it. I was talking smack to him, and then at the end of the day, you just realize that it's just a very well performing towel. And so yeah, whatever combination he used of the blend in combination with how he designed it, it's he named it for what it is based on his experience, and I vouch for it, right? I don't sell that
Okay.
towel, but I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Okay, so it's a twisted loop towel. So you're saying it is different from other large drying towel that are twisted loop and two-sided?
It has similar features and or element, right? The twisted loop concept, but it's just out the bag was much plushier, much
Okay.
like more meat on it. I don't know how to describe it, right?
Yeah, it's 2300 GSM, so that's quite
Yeah, it's
heavy.
thick. It's chunky. Yeah, I don't know if you
Mhm.
should have called it the chunky goat, but yeah, it's it's just a good towel, man. It's just a good towel, and I couldn't bash in it. I usually like to talk smack, but you have to give credit when credit is due. When somebody does something good, you got to pat them on the back.
Well,
And so yeah,
I appreciate your honesty there. And let's talk about BioBombs. So I have not used their product. I'm really interested for this new season, this new detailing season, to try them out. Because you'll sometimes you clean some cars as much as you can, and the carpets, they look perfect, but if you get your nose close to it, there's still like a musty or
yeah,
a
smell the
humidity.
gas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
so so tell me, how have you played with it? I guess you did,
I
but
yeah,
give me
every
the
product that
briefing
I
on it.
have here, I try to play with it, hand it out, break it, everything. I always That's probably my favorite part of owning this business. The bars themselves are movers. They're just so effective in comparison to those tree things that people used to buy. They just last longer. And then the pack, I have them in front of me over there, but the pack is a pack of two. And so normally the little tree lasts about 7 days, 10 days. The fact that this is a bar with solution in it, for some reason, that bar that looks like a granola bar holds the scent much longer than that little tree. And so it may not be hanging on your mirror, but uh, he came out, Christian, the owner, came out with a little baggie. You kind of put that half a bar inside the baggie, put it underneath the passenger seat, and you got a solid close to 60 days guaranteed, right? Sometimes it lasts a little bit more depending on the scent, but um, um, yeah, it may be a little strong initially, but the times that you feel that it's the scent's kind of gone, like you close your door, maybe it's a warm day, you go back into your car, and then it hits you again. And so they've just been really good. And the some of the scents, he just nailed it in the bag.
Okay.
So that's one, the air fresheners. Two, the BioBomb minis. Um, Inside joke, Christian and I both have bald heads. I don't have a beard like him, but because he's like 10 foot something and I'm like 5 foot something, I call myself BioBomb Mini when I'm around him. But the BioBomb Mini, I think it's like a chlorinated type of tablet. And so in essence, it has a multi-use. You can put it in a 32 ounce of water. You put one tablet in there. Now you have a deodorizing, like neutralizing cleaner, right? You could add it to your APC to kick it up a notch, a small little tablet. Or one of my favorites is you just add it to your steamer. When you add it to your steamer, then you just gives that steaming, that cleaning power. And so it's just a lot of stuff that he has a
But
hold of the market that's different than others that it's been awesome.
yeah, I listened to one of his podcasts the other day, but I was worried about spraying it or vaporizing it. Maybe because of the fact that you can breathe the the chemical there.
Yeah, at that point it's diluted quite heavily, but it's still potent enough to do its work. Um, so
So I would have
I
to
don't,
ask him.
yeah, I don't think that is as much like, so yeah, let's keep it real. If you were to use the odor neutralizer, which is like a full decon of a vehicle, and you were to sit in the car while that's happening, you may not come out of that car, right? Like you may be neutralized yourself. Um,
That's that's the odor bomb kit.
yeah, that one's a heavy dose intended to neutralize a vehicle, and so that's different. But the BioBomb Mini is like a mini version of that potency, just enough to like put in that work and clean almost like an APC, right? But in my opinion, it's more focused on the order element
Hmm.
than it is on the cleaning. But hands down, it cleans extremely well, just as good.
For a specific
Um,
area, maybe a carpet.
yep, yep, yep. Yeah,
So
but yeah, having it, if you know you're gonna have a real dirty car and you have a little bit of APC, you throw a little mini BioBomb mini in there, and you just have that enhanced kick of cleaning and neutralizing at the same time. I think it's a golden nugget.
yeah, I'm really interested by the odor bomb kit. So I'm gonna buy a couple of those kits and try them out. It's around 25, $30. It's pretty good to upsell someone with that, I guess.
In my opinion, I don't think there's a better bang for buck unless you get the odor ozone. But at that point, you're expending such high dollar for that machine. Where here, I think they're about $20 US. Um, you can't beat it, right? $20 tool that gets the job done that you could probably charge 100, $200 to neutralize a car is just, in my opinion, a no-brainer.
Yeah, and
Um,
you get the aerator right with that, and I guess it's a 1 hour process. That's pretty cool.
yeah, the aerator speeds it up, allows the chemical to be released faster into the atmosphere, into the car. And so, but if not, if something's really bad, you just let it sit overnight if you have more time with that vehicle, or you sit it as long as you want, multiple hours. But if you're in a pinch, you get the aerator, lock it in for at least an hour. At the same time, you start doing the outside of the car, and yeah, you kind of it becomes very cost effective for detailers that are mobile.
Yeah, it's pretty much a press start and wait.
Yeah, most definitely.
Anything else that we you want to mention about your store before we move on?
No,
Is
that's about
there
it.
a new brand, a new line coming?
I've thank you for asking. I've debated that. I haven't made my decision yet. There has been a lot of people who've been awesome partners that I just haven't taken the initiative of. Hypothetically, you could say I've slept on it, but haven't. So, like, if I were to just say like who I've thought of and who I'm just thankful for to giving me opportunity, like here, next LED. Um, I've been given the opportunity to test several of them, and their products are cost effective, perform amazing well. We had some discussions initially. I just wasn't ready to expand at that time, and also the configurables of shipping. But Next LED obviously is the competition to the big boy brand of lighting. And I just think pricing alone, they blow them out the water, and performance are just as good, or pretty similar to what you would expect from what is known as the detail goat lighting industry or brand. And so their stand is probably one of my all-time favorites, in addition to their like indoor under the hood light. And so yeah, without good lighting, your polishing skills may suffer a bit. And so
Yeah.
yeah, that's one brand that I think I slept on, but I'm just grateful that they gave me an opportunity to test. And so yeah, I still post videos for them, but it's more of a thank you back for giving me a chance to try some cool stuff. You know, you don't always get to try cool stuff. Sometimes you get some flakes, but that was a brand that I think yeah, just hit it out the park. They're also a brand in which if you have feedback, they're pretty supportive in creating something or making changes so that you kind of get what people want.
How do you spell next LED? How does it
Here,
spell?
so
Because I
just
never
next
heard of them.
the word. I don't know if you could read it or is it inverted?
Yeah.
NEXTLED.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's yeah, they make all kinds of items. So obviously there's the handheld, you got the flood lamp, and then you got another one that they came out recently. It's just a little lamp, right?
Okay.
Um, and you got yeah various others. I have a stand and then the under the hood, but yeah, they have a plethora of options available. And I think Fab distributes them over on the East Coast. And there's also other distributors that are coming around the corner. I just yeah, I'm gonna own it. I slept on it, wasn't ready for it to expand at the time, and but it's one of those that I know I missed. But yeah, maybe later I'll add them on. Just for now, I'm just it's just such a good product that I yeah, I'm happy to even have tried them.
Cool. Well, let's move into the industry talk and advice in general. I watch your, I read your bio on your website, and I noticed that you mentioned that you were scared of polishing and even more to apply ceramic coatings
Yes.
before this whole thing. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think like anybody else, the fear of screwing shit up is very common, right? Um, and when people are fearful, they don't take action. And so um, same thing with starting a business, same thing everything. So I had that same fear, and an opportunity came for me to work on someone's car, and so I wanted to give it a go, and so I did that.
Mhm.
Looking back now, it probably wasn't the best job I've ever done in my life, but it kind of broke the mold to go out there and try. And so polishing was the first step that I had to release my fear and just have a go. Um, shortly thereafter, I bought multiple panels. I didn't buy, well, I did. I went to the junkyard, pulled some panels, bought some stands, and just locked myself in a garage and play. The panels are from different vehicles, so that was kind of cool that I did that not knowing. But there's different types of paint, different type of clear coat, so those test panels were a big help. The more vehicles you did, the more confidence you build. I was fearful of applying a coating just because it's new at the time back then. So I was fearful of, am I going to screw up, and what if I get a high spot? But yeah, I now feel that a coating is easier. I may get controversy on this. I think a coating is easier to apply than wax. And the only reason I state that is I just think it's a faster process, and you don't have like dry residue everywhere. You may get a high spot, but maybe it's not as evident as a dry residue and cracks. But I don't know. I just feel like a coating is that much easier. It's now easier. Maybe it wasn't initially, but it's just now easier in my opinion. And the bang for buck on time investment, I think, is greater. Controversy currently that I don't know where I stand is um, like what people like more. I think it all depends on the situation. I know a lot of people, there's a lot of wax enthusiast people as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it depends, right? The time invested if you're doing it for protection, obviously I'd lean on a ceramic. But if you're doing it for maybe a shine, maybe a car show, then maybe that's maybe you can lean on wax. I just don't know the balance. At what point do I not do a coating if you're doing the prepping already, right? So that's the part that I don't know yet. I may not be as big of a wax fan as I am of a coating fan, because I kind of focus on time efficiency versus the therapeutic concept of waxing. But I see both sides. I try to go towards the efficiency route, and coating for me has been, even a detail spray or a sealant for me has been like more of the bang for buck. But I think the therapeutic side is, if you want to just lock yourself in and the car's not protected and you just want to wax it, then yeah, there's different ways to relieve your therapy process, right?
Yeah. So what were you scared of with the ceramic application? Was that to screw the whole paint, or what was it?
I think the application, I wasn't fearful of that. I was more fearful of a high spot and not knowing what the hell to do with it if it
Okay.
happened, or it applying and something negative happening, right? Like, because when you first start, you don't know. Like, wait for rainbow, wait for it to sweat. Different ceramics do things differently, and so it's just that unknown that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But like, once you actually do it and play with it, you realize how easy it is, and the idea of doing it again is just that much easier, right? The only thing I set to caution on anybody who hasn't tried it is just be systematic of your approach, right? If you work on a panel, work on that panel, wipe that panel down, and slightly overlap panels to make sure that you're not missing spots or sections. Outside of that, that's really the cheat code: is be systematic on your application process and your wipe down process, and for the most part, you will be peaches and cream. I don't think there's that much more difficulty to it. And if you do get a high spot, know that worst case scenario, get a little polish out and repolish it, or maybe the common cheat code is you add a little bit of more ceramic, and sometimes it reacts to allow you to get rid of that high spot and then wipe it off. So
Yeah.
just different things people could do, but yeah, it's what I found that works well for me.
They're really hard to mess up these days unless you don't wipe off the coating at all. There's no way you can destroy the car, the paint of the car, right?
Yeah, now these days, I think the conversation is how much solids is in a coating, that it will make it more challenging. But then it's also the question that I'd love to like cause controversy is, does more solids equal more durability? I can't answer that for you. I don't know, but it's something that it kind of runs in my mind all the time: is, does a higher solid create higher performance? I don't know. I would hope yes, but I don't know, right? Because there's so many variable factors. But yeah, I'm always playing with it. On my personal car, It's almost as cool as your car, but on my personal car, I have a high solid ceramic coating. It's not Chronos. On my wife's car, I have Chronos, and so having two different coatings to wash two different cars and having them back to back all the time is kind of fun. Let alone as you get customers' cars. Um, so yeah, it's always good to play.
Yeah, I have 3 coatings on mine. And by the way, I have Chris Gallagher, the B&B chemist, next week.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm gonna ask him about the higher solids because every brands nowadays are claiming high solids and ease of use. So it's gonna be
Yeah, I
fun
think
to ask him those questions.
I think that's a very interesting question, right? High solids tend to be like more like higher lifetime, but I don't know if it's true. I just know that I'll use this for an example. Like this is very high solid, right?
Okay.
Uh, this is what's on my car, and so yeah, if you take a nap, you're screwed. You'll be high spot McGee. I'll confess that I did get a high spot when I installed it, just because I wanted to blitz my car. Um, but yeah, the durability so far has been extremely awesome. But now I'm just the only thing that's left is time, right?
I just took some
Driving.
notes. I'll ask Chris the exact question you mentioned. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's a
that'd be
good
good
point.
to. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good to know, because I almost wonder if the blend of how they transfer kind of the CO2, the SiO2, sorry, not CO2, but the SiO2, how they transfer the SiO2 to the paint or the clear coat. I don't know if that's a component or if it's the solids. Like I don't know the chemistry as well. It's just more of assumption is more is better, but that's not always the case.
So let's go into a few not rapid fire question, but a few question that I have like a bunch of questions for you that we can get it out quick for the audience. What's a common mistake or a myth about detailing that you constantly see?
Common mistake that your process is perfect. I think people believe that whatever they're doing is best practice, ideal. Be open to learning from others, and then integrate what you can from what you think works, what doesn't work, and then make your own judgment from there. But yeah, continuous improvement. Always be open to learn is something that people should do.
Yes, there's many ways to skin the cat.
Yes.
What What's your top advice for someone who wants to start their own business? Doesn't have to be a detailing business, but just a business in general.
Don't do it. No, I'm kidding. My advice is do it. I don't care what it is, what you sell, don't sell, service. Just go and do it. The best way to learn is through action. Um, understand that failure is okay, and also understand there's a ton of people that you could ask that will openly help support you strategize. And yeah, a lot of people will help you answer questions. As I was starting, the people that I was asking are the people that supported me to distribute, and it's just a ton of knowledge out there. So just do it. Sounds like a Nike commercial.
uh, what makes Chrono ceramic coating unique?
uh that's a tough question, because the uniqueness can be found in others.
Hmm. Is there
um
something special about it that
yeah,
maybe
for
we don't
me,
know?
yeah, for me it's uh I'm just going to simplify it, because it's I know it works. It's been durable for me, and it's easy, super easy to apply.
Okay,
And so because of those common factors, it's the main reason why I keep going back to using it myself. Um, and yeah, it's just been my go-to, right? When something works, you don't change it.
so it's
Um,
reliable and easy
for
of
me,
use.
it's been extremely reliable and extremely durable. And I apply it to everything, right? The windows, paint. I have a buddy of mine who does detailing for motorcycles, only Moto 619 on Instagram. He sprays it on engines, because Harley Davidsons, if you're familiar with Harley Davidsons, they have a black, like a wrinkle paint. And so
Okay.
he sprays it with like an airbrush. He sprays it onto the engines to keep that rich black wrinkle protected. And so it's yeah, it's been tested for high degrees. And so yeah, I apply that thing on everything. I'd lie to you if I didn't tell you that I applied it to my appliances at home. So yeah, I
Are
put it on
stainless
whatever.
steel?
Yeah,
Are
I
they
put
stainless
it
steel?
on. Yeah, I put it on everything that looks like it could be applied. I put it on top of my head to make it shinier, but it's already pretty damn shiny. So I haven't applied it to the top of my head, but yeah, it just works extremely well. Same with if we're talking about Immortal, which is the other one, the 1 year one. I also apply that to leather, pleather, whatever the heck you want to call it. And you could
Mhm.
apply it like a Scotch guard. To me, I use it uh, as well, right? So it's very universal when used right. So they just work well. I can't say are they the best? Is there stuff better? There probably is. They just work extremely well, and it's confident that whatever bottle I open up, the next one, it's going to do just as good as the one I used before. So it's been working for me.
Next question: foam cannon or rinseless wash? I think you touch on
Oh
that.
man, if I want this video to get a bunch of likes, I'm going to say foam cannon. If I'm going to be honest with you, I love rinseless. I use it for everything. I wash my car in 10 minutes. I mop with it. I wash my windows with it at the house. I wipe my counters with rinseless. I use rinseless for everything. Um, yeah, rinseless hands down has, I've evolved to it, if I were to say that properly. It wasn't my go-to initially, but once you get a cleaning process that is efficient for you, you'll tend to lean on it more. That could be justifiable because I live in San Diego and because I only have one season, it makes it that much easier, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have salt on the asphalt or snow, and so maybe that's what it is. But yeah, it's just time efficiency. Is it the one all be all? I don't think so. I do tend to lean on product specific sometimes for things, but on a well maintained vehicle, like easy wipe down, easy maintenance is just
Mm-hmm.
super convenient.
Earlier, we were talking about therapy, and for me, that's
Yes,
the ton of suds and the
yes,
heavy water, the glides
yes.
of the wash mitt.
The
For me,
the
I'm really a soap junkie, not a rinseless
Yeah,
guy.
the same thing. Oh shit, I almost fell right now. The same thing we were talking about when it came to watching a car bead is almost the same weird addiction that I have to just foaming up a car, like adding more soap than I probably have to, and just foaming it up and just sitting there and watch it like the foam drip. They're just something dumb that I'm addicted to just watch foam drip is just it's fun, right? And so that's
Yeah.
the therapeutic piece of just sitting back and letting the soap do its magic and uh yeah.
A favorite detailing tool that you cannot live without.
Oh, that's a tough question. Favorite detailing tool that I
Are
can't
you a makeup
live
brush
without?
detailer?
No, no, I just like bang for buck. I'd rather get a Scrub Ninja and knock shit out than just be cute with a brush. Some areas need a brush, but I'm not the cute type. Um, what is a tool that I can't be without? That's a good question. I think lately I've been a fan of air tools.
Yeah.
So maybe I just think it could be used so universally that I think maybe the air tool, like the Vortex or the Rag Company brand or whatever, I think that tool is just universally used, especially the one that has the canister. You put rinseless in there and a quick bang for buck, just quick pass on things. So maybe air, especially for carpet, and get through carpet pretty well. Um, that's probably it. I can't think of anything else because everything I do things all depending on my mood, right? I'll change it up.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, um, But yeah, I think that's one of the items that I'd probably that and rinse lists. I don't want to be without a rinse list just because I don't know why I just
Mhm.
grab something, right, and grab and go.
So if you weren't detailing, what would you do in your free time?
That's a damn good question. If I was not detailing, probably be successful somewhere else. I don't know. Um, that's a good question. I'd probably be stuck on YouTube. That's what I'd probably be doing. At minimum, this provides revenue, profit, business opportunity. So I'm actually being productive, right? But if not, like many others, I probably have 1,000 hours of YouTube watching. So I'd probably see sitting on a couch, and so this
You
this
watch on
causes
TV?
me. Yes, TV,
Mostly?
mostly on TV, and I will confess that I'll put a video in my car just so that the Bluetooth picks up the sound, and I'll listen to it as I'm driving.
I do that also.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's an opportunity. Like I just sit there and I get entertained with smack talking, or I get entertained with the process, or what somebody uses, or what somebody came out with.
Yeah,
Um,
because I have a channel and I've I have the opportunity to watch the analytics. There for my channel, there's at around 35% of people watching on the TV.
oh wow,
That's more than the mobile phone. The mobile phone is pretty close to that, 30% as well. But I
huh.
was really surprised because early on it was all phone, and then over time the TV device catch up. So
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I wonder depending on that timing, because now almost all TVs are smart TVs, and so I don't know if that plays a factor, right, where you have the YouTube button on the TV to consume that.
But
Um,
I've been on YouTube for only a little bit over a year, so
oh, okay,
I guess maybe early on I was a different audience or maybe a short form audience. Obviously, the
okay,
short form is going to be more popular on the phone.
yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's pretty cool because I also watch on the TV, and I thought everyone was watching on the phone or a laptop.
Yeah, I think short form is also popular because we have short attention span, and so
Mm.
sometimes a quick attention getter is what does the job. I don't think it pays the bills, but it is the attention getter, right? It's something funny, educating. Uh,
But I think you nailed it. So that's why the TV is popular if you look at the analytics, because people, it depends on the situation. If they don't have that time to watch a 15 minutes video, they're gonna go to a short. And when they want to relax on the couch,
yes, then
they,
they
they
put
go
it
to my
on.
channel and open the TV.
Yeah, 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 most definitely.
So what's your plan for this year? I know we're still early in 2025. Is there specific target for you, specific plan?
So a couple quick plans off top of my head. One is the course in late March. We'll have a course here, Bali at max 4 people. So that's coming up soonest. Um, Other plans are attending conferences that I feel are worth attending. One for the networking opportunity, two to just learn and observe and uh, just experience. So SEMA for sure. I'll attend SEMA this year coming, and I'll attend MTE this year coming. And so those are the three guarantees for this year. Outside of that, just open to working, partnering with whomever to either build content, try, test, or even potentially distribute. I haven't had anybody on my radar to really add on yet. I'm kind of in that position where I'm happy where I'm at, but I do know that the only way to gain more market share is to have more product on the shelf, right? Because not everybody may be favorites of what I carry.
Mhm.
And so yeah, the bigger mix is better. I just kind of happy with what I'm doing, I don't technically need more, but uh, I know there's so many good stuff out there that yeah, maybe somebody else gets added to the shelf. We don't know yet, but it's not something that I'm like eager to do at this second.
Yeah. Okay. So keep me in the loop. I'd like to know more what's going on for you during this year. So Adrian, tell us where we can find you and reach you.
Two places. One on Instagram, it's IamDetailedAF. And then the website itself is imdetailedaf.com. So the shopping experience is on the website, and me being quirky, funny, and trying a little bit of my marketing tactics, which I'm not as aggressive on, is on the Instagram. So you'll find reels, you'll find me sharing stuff, and then me trying to make funny comments on other people's posts. And so those are the two areas that you could find me at. And then at the SEMA and MTE events, you're probably wandering me around. Just look for the shiny top head.
Pretty good, Adrian. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate your time. It was really nice to meet you and talk with you.
Thank you, my friend. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, we'll keep in touch soon. And yeah, hopefully everybody's enjoying this. And then yeah, we'll see you guys soon, my friends. Thank you.